Hi, everybody. It's Terry with Crafty Book Nerd, and today I'm going to talk about the books I read in December. I read 7 books in December, and we're going to talk about those. But first, you know what time it is time for our quote of the day. And today's quote comes from Dr. Seuss. It says, "Fill your house with stacks of books in all the crannies and in all the nooks." Sounds good to me. So for December, I kind of wanted to mood read, and I thought I want to read some Christmassy books, Christmas mysteries, cozy, something to kind of, get in the mood for the whole Christmas season. But before I got into those books, I had to read um, another one that was recommended to me, and then another one that was a sequel to one that I had read. So we're going to talk about those and then one from an author that I really like. So the first one that I want to talk about is Iron Flame. Iron Flame. This, of course, is the sequel to Fourth Wing. We continue with the story of Violet and Xaden. It is now Violet's second year at the school where she is learning to ride dragons. It's very action packed. We do learn more about the dragons. I did not enjoy this one as much as Fourth Wing, but I did still give it a 4 star. I am looking forward to the next 3 books in this series because the ending of this one left me like, ugh. I was not okay with the ending, not okay at all. So it was a 4 star, and I'm looking forward to the next book in this series. Next, this one, The Reformatory. I started listening to a podcast called Currently Reading Podcast, and I'm going to talk about them more this next year coming up. And one of the books they recommended was called The Reformatory, and I was able to get this one from the library, and this is by Tananarva Dew. I don't know if I said that right, but it is historical fiction, takes place during the Jim Crow laws. There are a lot of triggers you need to know about before reading this book: racism, child abuse, severe violence, very descriptive, racial slurs. It's about a 12-year-old boy who kicks a white boy, and because of that, the father becomes irate and has the 12-year-old boy sent to a reformatory school. Now, this is based on a real reformatory school and a family's experience with what happened at that school. And basically, the school was a chamber of terrors. The man who was running it was pure evil, and you get so mad at him, and you just can't believe some of the things that they do to these children at this reformatory school. It's about his family and how they tried to save him. It's about injustice, and it will make you very angry. I did give this book a 4 star, and it was a good one. The next one is by an author that I really like, and that is T.J. Klune. T.J. Klune. I loved Under the Whispering Door and House of the Cerulean Sea. This one didn't enjoy quite as much. It's advertised as a sci-fi fantasy and kind of a retelling of Pinocchio mixed with a Wizard of Oz. There are 3 robots in the story and 1 human, and they're struggling with their identity. At times when you're reading it, you don't even realize that some of the characters are robots because they possess human-like qualities, and you think you're reading about a human person and what they're going through, and then you have to be like, whoa, wait a minute, this is a robot. Each character represents something. We have wisdom, we have compassion, courage, and honesty. And like I said, I enjoyed it. It was a fun read, and I gave it 3 stars. That's In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. The next 4 books that I read all had to do with Christmas. These were my Christmas reads, and I'm going to talk about them in the order of which I enjoyed them. The one I enjoyed the most was Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. When I looked at this cover, it just drew me in. You see the house and the trees and the snow looks isolated. I can just see a mystery happening here. It does take place in two different timelines, and I did enjoy that. It's about Madeline, who had a rough past. 10 years ago, something happened when she was a teenager. Another girl was killed, some children went missing, and it affected her life. But she's moved on and she owns a bookstore. And it's 10 years later, and a podcaster comes and he wants to open up this cold case because he believes that the person who is in jail for the crime did not act alone and that there was someone else involved, and he wants to find out more. And so of course he wants to interview Madeline, and she's not real happy about that because she definitely blames herself for everything that happened. She was the only survivor. So we are trying to discover, did the accused act alone or was there someone else involved? And what part did Madeline play? So you'll need to read it to find out. I did give this one 4 stars. It was my favorite of the Christmassy ones that I read for this year. The next one coming in, this one drew me in. This one drew me in because I thought it was such a cute cover. This is Mrs. Claus and the Santa Land Sleighings. Say that 5 times fast. By Liz Arlen. I loved the color, and it sounded like a cute title, and it was cute. It was just a cute, cozy mystery. It's about April, who um, just became Mrs. Claus not too long ago, married to the real life Santa Claus, going to the North Pole. There's a murder. And so April involves herself, even though Mr. Claus tells her to stay out of it. She can't resist. She wants to know who done it. And so she becomes involved in trying to solve the crimes while at the same time saving Christmas and doing everything at the North Pole that needs to be done to prepare for Christmas. Like I said, it was fun. It was lighthearted. I figured out who did it before the end of the book, and I gave it a 3 star. It was just a fun read. The next one, I love the title of this one by James Patterson and Tad Safran, The 12 Topsy-Turvy, Very Messy Days of Christmas. um, this was another one that was just fun. It was a start out sad. It's about a family, and 5 years prior, they have lost their mother. So it's only Willa, who's 14, Ella, who's 12, and their dad, Henry, left. And they don't celebrate Christmas. There's no decorations, there's no gifts, there's no cooking. Christmas is just a regular day for them. Will and Ella really want to get Christmas back in their lives. They want to start getting presents. So they think if they can set their dad up with a woman who believes in Christmas, maybe that can come back into their household. And so they go into a dating site and set him up and try to get him to meet someone. And of course, all that goes crazy, and he finds out. And so, it doesn't pan out the way they hope. But the next day, there is a gift on the front porch, and it's a partridge in a pear tree. And you can kind of see where that's going for the next 12 days. Yes, they get each animal. They get 2 turtle doves, they get 3 French hens, they get 4 calling birds, and it just goes on from there. And they don't know who the gifts are coming from, um, but it's parts of it is funny. It's about relationships, rekindle friendships. It's about family and about love. And I'm not going to tell you, of course, what happens at the end. Do they start celebrating Christmas? Does dad find um, a new wife to bring love and joy back into the household? You'll need to read it to see. And like I said, it was okay, and I gave it 3 stars. And then the last one I read was such a disappointment. The Christmas Birder Game. The cover, you see keys on the cover and a tree. It just looked intriguing. I love the name of the book. The premise was amazing. We've got 12 days, we've got 12 clues, and we've got 12 keys. And we've got all these cousins coming together, and the person who can solve it at the end of 12 days is going to inherit the deed to the house. But I was disappointed in it. It fell flat. The clues, I thought the clues would be to where maybe I could figure it out, but I don't know. They didn't jive for me. They didn't make sense. Um, I don't know. I just, it didn't work for me. Maybe you enjoyed it. If you did, that's fine. We all have different reading tastes. But for me, I was disappointed and thought it could have been so much more than what it was. And I did give this one just a 2 star. So, those are the books that I read for December. I'm actually reading a book now currently, but I'm going to count it for my January reads. I usually wrap up my December reading about the 20th, 21st. That way I can get all my stats done for the year and then get into 2024. So stay tuned. I'll be coming to you soon with what I plan to do for next year, my reading goals, and also how I'm going to determine what books I read each month. I think it's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for subscribing to my channel. I'm celebrating my 1 year anniversary that I've been on YouTube. I have almost 400 subscribers, which is exciting for me. If you have friends who are interested in books or the crafting things I do, please share this video with them. And I would love to have them as a subscriber. So thanks again and happy reading to everybody.